format of my daily vlogs. I share my exercise, answer questions from previous vlogs, and then I talk about whatever topic that I want to talk about for the day. So feel free to use the timestamps below as you see fit. Today is day number 8 of my calendar club challenge. As you can see, just got back from my 8-mile run, and woo-wee, do I feel good. Today was a good run. It's a good day. The birds are chirping, the sun is out, and I'm out there doing my thing. My body feels good, my leg feels good. I'm gonna throw the map of my run up here, splits up here, and I am very happy with my pace so far for the past 8 days. I've been averaging less than 10 minutes per mile. I think in about a week's time, I'll have to slow that down to 10 minutes and 30 seconds per mile for however many miles on that given day, and eventually go to 11 and 12 maybe. I really don't want to average less than 12 minutes per mile on any of the days, but we'll see. I probably will, given the last week or so. It's going to be rough. So I am looking forward to the next 22 days. I still have 464 more miles to run. My body is ready. My mind is ready. Let's get crushed. Quick update on the Q&A section of my daily vlogs. Today, moving forward, I'll actually only be answering 5 total questions in my daily vlog. I want to take this extra time so that I can focus on the other areas of YouTube that I am severely lacking, such as SEO, such as thumbnails. And I also want to take this time so that I can better my overall production and my quality of my daily videos. I'll be getting to your questions, though they might not be as soon as the next day. Also, I will be backlogging and pre-recording a lot of the questions so that I can free up a little bit more time in my regular day. With that being said, let's get to some questions. First question comes from Adam. He asked, where are you going to travel to first post-quarantine? I think the first place I will likely take a plane to will be to San Diego, California. I went to school down there. I worked down there for a few years. I have a lot of friends. I miss all my friends. And really, I just want to get in a real California burrito, minus the meat. Tino asked, would you ever consider doing a Spartan race? Yeah, I'd consider doing a Spartan race, though I'm not interested in doing a Spartan race by myself, though if it was with a small group of people, I am highly interested, maybe some family, maybe some friends, or maybe some people from my YouTube community. Sweeney Challenge asked, what are your favorite pair of running shoes that you've ever owned, and do you primarily stick with Nike? Yes, I primarily stick with Nike, especially when it comes to my running shoes. One important factor for me when determining a pair of running shoes that I get is the aesthetics. I know that Brooks or Hoka's or even Asics might be a little bit better for my feet, though I've never really found those shoes really aesthetic, so I always end up choosing Nike for the aesthetic factor. In terms of my favorite running shoes ever, I've only really started seriously long distance running right around a year ago or so. I've had running shoes in the past before that, though they weren't proper distance shoes. If I had to choose my favorite distance shoe, it would have to be these Nike React Milers, and I might be a little bit biased just because I have been wearing them every single day, though they fit well, they're comfortable, and again, they're aesthetic. And I guess while we're at it, I might as well show you all some of my other shoes as well so that you have a glimpse of my own personal style. First up, one of the few non-Nike shoes that I've ever owned. Adidas NMDs. And I actually got these because they were half off at the Adidas store in Portland. We were up there with my girlfriend's family and they got access to the store. So I was like, you know what? Why not? Because these are one of the few Adidas shoes that I actually find aesthetic. Next up, Nike Trail Terra Tigers. I actually really like this shoe. Very good for trail running, especially around the gravel, around the lake/park by my house, though these are definitely over mileage. Next up, what do we have? Nike Pegasus 36s. Very good shoe, definitely overworn. Like, look, that is coming off. I have a bad tendency to heel strike, but I really like these. Next up, Pegasus 37s. And these don't fit that well. Like, they're okay. I really like the aesthetics of this shoe, but they are a little bit tight up in that upper region. So that's why I always pick the Nike React Milers before choosing these on a run. Next up, Nike Dunks, yo! Anyone got those Nike Dunks? These red Nike Dunks? I've had these since high school. These are like skate shoes. Love them. Next up, we have orange Janowskis. I've actually only worn these like twice, but I bought them because they were orange and they were on sale. Another orange shoe that is actually my favorite running shoe that's a non-distance running shoe. Boom! Nike Flyknits. I have worn these for many, many years. I think these are at least 7 or 8 years old. And you can tell because they're so worn. My favorite shoe to wear to the gym. Or not my favorite, but definitely just one to wear around. I really like the pop of the orange. And I like these Flyknits so much, I had to get another pair. These are the black Flyknits. Same shoe, but black. And then we have my Converse. I love Converse because they generally look good even when they're super old and super dirty. I really like wearing these to the gym, especially for powerlifting. I don't have to get powerlifting shoes because these shoes are flat and plus they look nice as well. And then last but not least, I also have a pair of Nike Huaraches. And there you go. My shoes. Jashim asked, was that all in one take? In regards to my walk and talk experiment number 3 with my GoPro yesterday at the end of my vlog. It was actually on take number 2. The first take didn't turn out the way that I wanted to because I was stuttering, because I was fumbling my words, and I was kind of rambling at the same time. So, take 2. Ewan asks, what do you like to do to relax? He also adds, it seems like you're busy 32 hours a day, 10 days a week. Honestly, it feels like I'm that busy too, because every day I always have a lot to do, a lot on my agenda, and when 7, 8 p.m. hits, I go, whoa, where did the day go? It literally flashed right before my eyes. And if I could have one superpower, it would be to sleep faster. And I wish sleeping faster was a learnable skill, but it's not. And as far as what I like to do to relax, as you can probably already tell, exercise, I like to run, I like to do jiu-jitsu, and I like to powerlift. It really just takes my mind off of a lot of things, and that's why I do it often. Something that I learned long ago about myself is that I am very extreme. And I've said it before, I'm very black and white when it comes to a lot of things because that's honestly just how my brain works. And when I want something, I go get it. And I go full force. And just like with anything in life, I think you have to find what works for you. And self-awareness and all that. And what works for me is being extreme. That's how I personally like to get results. And that's how I get results. Is I have to go to the extreme side of the spectrum. That's how I got fit when I first started. It started with momentum, and then it got to the sides of the extreme. I was like tracking all my macros. I was tracking every piece of lettuce. I was going to the gym 5-6 days a week, just like very extreme. Same thing for YouTube. I put all my time and energy. When I am focused on something, I tend to get the results. And that's what happens. There's just something that clicks in my mind. And it's good and bad, I think. And I know that it's a double-edged sword. Because I am hyper-focused, I tend to get things done pretty efficiently and pretty quickly. But the downside of it is that it hurts the other areas of my life. And it's kind of that thing of where I'm so focused on that task at hand that when someone tries to talk to me, I literally can't hear them. I don't hear them. And my girlfriend tells me all the time, because when I'm sitting there doing YouTube stuff, editing, whatever it is, she'll say my name like 7 times. And she's right outside my peripheral. And she just stands there for like 5 minutes. And then I look up, I'm like, oh, hey, did you say something? And she's like, I've been standing here for 5 minutes. I've said your name at least 6 times. I'm like, oh. And that's just how I am. I don't think that, you know, it's necessarily a bad thing. Again, it goes back to self-awareness, and because I'm self-aware that I'm like this, then I can use it to my advantage in all the other aspects of my life. And I just want to get this message out because I don't think that being extreme is a bad thing. I think it can be a bad thing, especially if you're not self-aware that it could lead to like bad things. Like, for example, alcohol and drugs. If you're very extreme with that, it's going to lead to addiction. It's not going to be good. And for me, because of this mindset, I also tend to have like an addictive personality. But I also can step back when I need to. And just like with everything else in life, I feel there's a push and a pull. You gotta know when to push and you gotta know when to pull, especially when it comes to being extreme. And I forget who said this quote, but you know, nothing good ever happens in the middle. Like all the successful people, not all, a lot of the successful people that I admire, that I want to emulate, they are extremes. Like that's how they got there. Because they are so extreme, because they are black and white, and they don't let anything get in their way, they're gonna do whatever it takes to get there. And like maybe I'm not at that level of Gary Vee or LeBron James or Tom Brady, but you know, I feel that I have a small dose of it. And again, I just really don't think it's a bad thing. I've heard people say, you know, like you can be too extreme sometimes. Like, yeah, I know, but that's what I want. Like, I know that running 500 miles this month is extreme. It's probably not good for my body or my health, but it's also good for my mind, especially my mind. Callus is my mind. David Goggins is my mind. And that's why I do it. To prove, not to anyone else, but to prove to myself. Because if I can come out the other side stronger, then I come out the other side stronger. Like I want to grow, I want to keep growing. So, the message is, being extreme can be good, but it can also be bad. So be careful.